Yes. We are doing this for a little second. Just give me a second. We need to make sure that I am not leaking my origin info, because yeah. Okay, so we're gonna download this update. Yes, I know I didn't prepare in advance. Suck my nuts. Okay, calm down. We will make this work. I just hope the update isn't like 30 minutes long. I wouldn't have leaked anything, but still. If it fucking goes faster. Edit download rate. How the fuck do you edit the download rate? No limit. Yeah, the fuck would you put a limit on it? Who would do that? Yeah, I'm supposed to have automatic game updates, but no. It doesn't do that. That's gay. I can just turn this back on because I'm not leaking anything. We wait for it to prepare. Actually, while we wait, we can actually. Yes, this is what the thumbnail is. It's quite literally just this. Okay. I wanted something interesting, and that is something interesting. So, chupa mis huevos. Alright, what are we going to react to live while we wait for the install? Okay, this, fuck off. Okay, one thing. Let me see something. We muting the screen for a second. We are going to see why my live stream doesn't have my Join or You're a Meatball logo on it. Your channel, yeah, of course. Better shut the fuck up. It does. Why isn't it so the main thingy? Why? That's gay. Okay. Let's bring the screen back. Still preparing. What do we react to? Let's react to Daily Dose. I already did that. Yeah, this is so weird. The auto steering wasn't working for Forza. It pissed me off. Okay, let's do Linus Tech Tips. If I can actually spell tips without spelling it penis magically. Let's watch Anthony do this.
We paid over $30,000 to get every version of Apple's new M1 Pro and M1 Max MacBooks. And now that we finally got our grubby paws on them, we can really put them through their paces. We're focusing on the 14-inch M1 Pro MacBook today, both the 814 core and the 1016 core models. Not only are we going to review and benchmark the all-new redesign from notch to bottom, we're going to answer all the questions Apple wouldn't. And the question of who our sponsor is. It's Crucial. Thanks to Crucial for sponsoring this video. Get more done with Crucial's P5 Plus NVMe SSD. With up to 6,600 megabytes per second sequential reads and a 5-year warranty, Crucial makes tech to last. Get yours today at the link below.
I click on it.
As soon as you lay eyes on the new
fucking
MacBooks,
notch.
the flattened edges strike you in the same way older generation MacBooks did. This is in stark contrast to the 2016 pedigree of
more
MacBooks that
flatter
did everything in their
boxy,
power
like-
to hide their dimension by adding curves wherever possible, looking kind of like an envelope with something bulging
it's
out from
more
it.
boxy.
This refreshed, flattened design
Looks
philosophy
nice.
just so happens to allow Apple to stuff more functionality into the new machines. It's almost like thin at any cost held them back. Imagine that. While the changes keep rolling back, we're looking at a new touch barless keyboard with basically zero deck flex, and thankfully, they brought back the function keys. Personally, I'd still like to have the touch bar, maybe stick with half-height function keys and sneak it in there, just so long as I get function keys. Like, look how much faster it is to mute a Mac with function keys than with the touch bar. It's not even a contest. And there's no contest that MagSafe always has been, and always will be, the best charging method for an expensive laptop like a MacBook Pro. Not only is the new implementation much shallower, and thus less likely to hook your laptop off the desk, but it's capable of fast charging at up to 96 watts depending on which charger you end up with. What's more, the number one complaint people had about MagSafe, that the cable frayed over time, I've had it happen, that's been largely addressed here, thanks not only to a much more supple braided cable, but also the fact that it's a detachable Type-C connector on the other end. Mind you, Apple is still charging $50 for a mere 6-foot replacement, but that's still cheaper and less wasteful than a new power adapter. Besides, you can always charge via Type-C if you want, you just won't get fast charging.
Oh, you can.
But
it's just not fast charging.
there's one thing here that has never been on any Apple notebook, or to my knowledge, any previous notebook.
Being able to charge it to
The notch. It looks a smidge larger than the notch on my iPhone 11 Pro Max, and inside is a single 1080p webcam. Apple's justification for the notch's size on iPhones is that they need the extra space to house Face ID sensors, and these laptops don't have Face ID. Maybe the TrueDepth sensors are too thick for the housing, maybe smaller sensors were expected to be available, but
why
the
isn't it
silicon
just like
shortage delayed them. Why then did Apple not wait
isn't it
for the
just-
next generation? It just feels like they planned for it, realized at the last minute, crap, we can't make it work, and then thought, "F
Why-
it, ship it as it is."
why-
Mind you, the
why can't they
webcam
do
in
this
that
with the
notch
laptop?
is quite good,
The little
albeit marred
cutout
with a
eye-hole notch.
skin smoothing algorithm
Like
that
it
I
is
can't find a way to
in
turn off.
the
It takes effect both in
Samsung
Photo Booth and QuickTime.
now,
Still, the image is otherwise quite sharp around the edges. With a little tweaking, I think it could actually be one of the better webcams integrated into a laptop. Certainly far better even now than Dell's. And how about that microphone array? Not too shabby if you ask me. The speakers though. Apple says they've got 4 counter-firing woofers and 2 tweeters. And quite frankly, it sounds so much better than anything else I've heard in a laptop that it's not even close.
Actually, that sounds good. Oh, that's really good. XPS doesn't sound that bad though.
Sorry, XPS 15. You sound like trash by comparison. Apple's definitely tuned these speakers with a sweet spot in mind, and that sweet spot seems to be sitting at a desk. When you're in that sweet spot, the frequency response is at its best, and stereo imaging is almost like you've got widely separated speakers. I almost wish we had a binaural recording rig so I could show you. I can show you the display though. This is beautiful. It reminds me of a TV at home with its 2000 local dimming zones and 1600 nits peak brightness. Just crammed into a much smaller form factor thanks to the mini LED backlight array that Apple calls XDR. The other big feature is the new 120Hz adaptive refresh rate, ProMotion support that can go as low as 24Hz to save on battery life during an activity. Apple's way out ahead of Windows on this one. Way out, thanks to having first baked this into the iPad line several years ago. It's not quite 4K, but Apple has a history of not targeting specific resolutions, but rather specific pixel densities. And in that regard, it's close to 4K and definitely Retina from any reasonable distance, which is really all that matters day to day. For professionals, a separate, pixel-matched external display for critical viewing is common and can be hooked up via any one of the 3 DisplayPort-enabled Thunderbolt 4 ports, or the full-size HDMI 2.0 port, which can handle up to 4K 60 with HDR. HDMI 2.1 support for 120Hz would have been nice on a top-of-the-line laptop like this, but honestly, this wouldn't be too useful for non-gamers right now anyway, unless you're working with 8K for some reason. 4K 60 is the most you're going to get out of a typical projector or TV, so it's just not a huge limiter. Now, we don't have the M1 Max in for testing yet, but we can put the M1 Pro through its paces with some PC competition. A Surface Laptop Studio, an Asus Zephyrus G14, and if those fail, we've got our trusty GPU bench to show it what for. Starting with good old Cinebench, we've got our first impressive showing. Our 10-core MacBook Pro matches the Zephyrus's top-end Ryzen 9, and the 8-core stomps the Surface Laptop Studio and the MacBook Pro 13-inch as well. Geekbench brings more pain for Microsoft, and even the Zephyrus takes a beating from the 8-core M1 Pro this time around. Handbrake in software encoding brings more good news for Apple, with only our Ryzen desktop outperforming the 10-core and H.264, and the Zephyrus pulling a lead in the more complex and thread-hungry H.265 encoder. When we turn on hardware encoding, why is this MacBook so slow? Okay, it looks like Apple's Video Toolbox has some issues with the new media engine right now, so unfortunately these results are unusable. But I'm including them here because this is something you might run into if you pick one of these puppies up. Compressor gives us a better look at what the hardware encoding performance looks like, and strangely, it seems like whatever Apple did with the media engine to add ProRes support,
a certain encoder makes the render time so much more. It goes from 2 to 4 minutes for the Intel types, and then it goes to 13 to 14 minutes from the MacBook ones. And those are the Pro. That's not good. What do we got? 11 more minutes. It's only 18 gigabytes. Yeah, not that bad an update.
Negatively affected H.265 in preference to H.264, which is a strange balance to make, but it's not a big difference either way. It's just weird. In Final Cut, both the new MacBooks put up numbers roughly double what the original M1 MacBook could, which is largely down to the additional GPU cores. And ProRes encoding is almost 3 times faster than M1 thanks to that new media engine that turned Apple's $2,000 Afterburner card into RetroTech. Video's not everything people do with their Macs though, so let's come back around to 3D modeling with Blender. As of right now, Apple Silicon isn't natively supported by Blender, but Apple has joined the Blender Development Fund and provided patches to enable Metal going forward, so stay tuned for that. For now, CPU rendering performance isn't too shabby, with the 10-core M1 Pro beating out the Zephyrus in both the shorter BMW render and the sustained Classroom render, which is ridiculously good. Adobe Creative Cloud mostly runs in Rosetta as well, and unfortunately that means that either Puget Bench will often crash, or in the case of the few available Apple Silicon versions of these apps, simply not work. We do have Photoshop numbers though, and these show very similar performance to the M1, perhaps because of Rosetta, but also perhaps because of the lightly threaded nature of the work. What isn't lightly threaded is code compilation, and it's here that M1 Pro comes back to dominance. Even the 8-core M1 Pro outperforms the best mobile Ryzen chip on the market, and the 10-core is second only to the desktop Ryzen 9 5950X. It's ridiculously impressive when something like this happens, kind of like our new water bottles at LTTstore.com. You gotta see the new lids and colors, and we can get 50% off of.
Oh, get your ass out of here, boy. We need to find something else to watch. We're getting Shameless plugged on. I don't like it. Why they're so... That's a perfect video. Of course we need to know why they're so successful. That's 110p.
Chick-fil-A is easily one of the most successful restaurants there is. Here, I'll prove it.
looks good.
The
I
very
never had
first
it, but
one
it
opened
looks
in
good.
1967, and this is hard to believe, but every year since then, their sales have been higher than the year before. I'm talking about more than 50 consecutive years of sales growth, leading to 2019 when their US system-wide sales reached $11 billion, which placed them behind only Starbucks and McDonald's. And that is not even the most
McDonald's,
impressive
Starbucks are
part.
fucking
Chick-fil-A
up
reached
there. Look
$11
at
billion
that.
in sales
McDonald's
while
literally
only
40
having
billion.
2,500 locations, which isn't even a fifth of what the other two have. Some quick math, $11 billion in sales divided over 2,500 restaurants means they sold about $4.4 million at each one. That
Oh
average
my
is
God,
higher than
Jesus.
McDonald's
But it's
or
not equal
Starbucks or
because-
any other restaurant.
Okay, that's why it's not equal. Hold on, let me just take a. This is why it's not equal. Alright? I work at a restaurant, fast food place, KFC, right? Our location, one of the top sellers, we sell a lot, right? In one night, like night or whole day, we can do about 4,000 in sales. Alright? And in other stores, whole day, let's say like we have a store like right closer to us, like town over, right? This store, barely any business. They get 1,000 a day. We make 3 times more than them in a day. So that's why it can't always be equal. So you can't just split it up like that. I mean, you can for reference, for like an equal sub, like a good average. But that's not the actual pricing.
In the country. For heaven's sake, Subway had almost 10 times the locations and sold less food overall. When you think about it, it makes
Subway's
sense,
not
because those Chick-fil-A locations tend to be way more crowded than any of those other restaurants, and I'm gonna talk about why that's the
looks
case.
good.
Chick-fil-A
When I
does
hear
a
Chick-fil-A,
lot of
it
things
makes me wanna get
differently from the
Chick-fil-A. I
others,
can't.
so I've identified 5 factors that separate them from the rest of the industry and have likely contributed to their growth and success. First off, I need to talk about the founder, Truett Cathy, because I think the results prove that he was a pretty good businessman. He was famously driven by his religion as far as charitable efforts and the principles that he used to run his business. He taught Sunday school for over 50 years. He's been active in establishing scholarships and finding homes for foster children. Actually, Chick-fil-A has always been a private company, partially because he felt public investors probably wouldn't approve of all this charity. Before he died in 2014, he even made this contract with his children saying that they could sell the business, but they could not make it public, neither of which they have done. See, going all
Here's the thing. You can put $10,000 into a Chick-fil-A and own the store. Well, the franchise owns the store. They make the money off of it. But you have the store. You put in $10,000. They build you the store to give you employees. And you work 60 to 80 hours a week. You work as the manager, the GM, in that store. And you will make shit tons of money. Like, you will literally make tons of money. Like, you'll get, for being one of the part of the franchisee owners, because you have the franchisee payment for the $10,000, you will own a part of the company and a part of that store. Like, I think a lot. I don't think it's all, because obviously you're not going to make, let's say I make $1 million at this restaurant in a year. You ain't getting $1 million. The company's going to get the $1 million. Well, part of it, you'll get part of it because you're the franchisee owner and you own the store, basically. They just build it for you to give you employees. You work there, stuff like that. You make your salary. You also get the other shit. And other places are like way more money. Like, you have to do a lot more work. You have to find your employees. You gotta like actually help like find shit. It's crazy.
All the way back to when he was 8 years old during the Great Depression, Truett Cathy was finding ways to earn money for his family by starting his own little businesses. He is from Atlanta, where the Coca-Cola company is headquartered, so he would buy these 6-packs of it for $0.25 and then hustle to sell the bottles for $0.05. I imagine that couldn't have helped his family too much at first because he was making less than a penny per sale, but it did grow and evolve into other small efforts. All of those ended when he left to serve in the Army during World War II, along with his brother, Ben Cathy, and soon after they returned in 1946 is when they entered the restaurant industry. They sold some stuff and gathered all their money together, totaling $4,000, and took out an additional $6,000 loan from the bank and used the money to open a small diner outside of Atlanta near a Ford plant where they would hopefully gain some repeat business from the workers there. And I mean it when I say it was small. It had 4 tables with chairs and 10 stools along the counter, and that was it. To reflect that small size, they even named it the Dwarf Grill, which was later changed to the Dwarf House. It was open 24 hours a day, and when you combine that with their style of hands-on leadership, it made for a busy schedule. One of them would work for 12 hours and then be relieved when the other one would come in and work for 12 hours. Now, you may know that Chick-fil-A has always been closed on Sundays, which, by the way, makes all those sales numbers from the beginning even more impressive. They are beating Subway not only with fewer locations, but with fewer days. Well, the religious beliefs have obviously factored into that, but Truett Cathy has maintained that the policy started back then so he and everyone else could simply have a break from that crazy schedule. After only 3 years of running that business together, Ben tragically died in a plane crash along with a third Cathy brother named Horace. So Ben's portion of the Dwarf House was transferred to his wife and then to Truett after he bought it from her a year later. That was some crazy stuff that happened there, but it resulted in Truett running the business alone as the full owner. From there, he expanded to a second location that did not work out too well because it burned in a fire in 1960, but it actually turned out to be a good thing because it helped lead to the creation of Chick-fil-A. My second reason for their success is none other than that famous Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. Have you ever had one of these things? My goodness. It was created by Truett Cathy himself, and I don't know how much I believe this, but according to the company, that was the first ever chicken sandwich. As they like to say,
You know what's actually crazy? Talking about fires. I went to University of Minnesota in Mankato. University of Minnesota Mankato. Because they got a Chick-fil-A there, right? I went there, hour drive, just to get Chick-fil-A and hang out with my friend. Drive 1 hour. The week before, the kitchen started on fire, so they closed it for a month. I was gonna have Chick-fil-A. Fucking fire. Goddamn, Truett. Fucking guy.
Say, we didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. Even if you dispute that and don't think that they were the first, they were definitely huge in popularizing it. See, after that fire, the insurance didn't come through quite like he had hoped, so he was back down to that one original location trying to make up for those lost sales by revitalizing the menu. Then in 1961, he made a deal with a chicken supplier. It turns out that they had recently filled this order for an airline to prepare all of this boneless, skinless chicken breast. But one of the requirements for that order was that the pieces had to be small enough to fit into these little plastic trays that the passengers would use to eat. So they were left with some pieces that were too big. They didn't fit, so they were trying to sell them to Truett, and I'm assuming at a discount. He took advantage of that offer and right away started experimenting with different ways to serve it. He concluded that a pressure cooker would cook it faster. Using more expensive peanut oil improved the taste. He chose to serve it as a sandwich, partially so people wouldn't have to get all greasy from touching the chicken. According to Chick-fil-A, that recipe that he settled on back then is exactly how they make it today. When naming it, he learned that he couldn't put a patent on the words chicken fillet, but he could if he messed around with the letters a bit and called it Chick-fil-A. That tasty recipe, innovative idea, and catchy name helped it become the big new menu.
Because it was supposed to be chicken fillet, but Chick-fil-A, bro, I feel stupid. Why is the time going up? Why are you going up in time, you asshole? So rude.
item over at the Dwarf House. At first, he licensed that sandwich to be sold at other restaurants, but then in 1967 decided that he should open his own restaurant that was centered around it. The first actual Chick-fil-A restaurant opened at the Greenbrier Mall in Atlanta, Georgia, and this is leading me to my next reason behind their success: slow expansion with little to no debt. If you watch this channel, you're probably nodding your head right now in relief, because how many times have I talked about companies that went into debt to expand too fast and it all came crumbling down. Today, I believe they've become one of the few companies that don't carry any debt, but they've always kept it low. In the 1970s, Truett Cathy declared that the new restaurants would be open mostly using their own profits, a strategy that was complemented by their other strategy of only opening restaurants in shopping malls. I mean, they operated for almost 20 years before they had any freestanding locations. The ones in the malls tend to be smaller and cheaper, so they require less money to open. Chick-fil-A was among the first
where he didn't basically own McDonald's, he owns the land. So basically, he didn't go into the restaurant fast food business, he went into the real estate business, which he basically bought land for the McDonald's to be on, which makes him shit tons of money, because he makes money from the deeds and the land sales and the rent and stuff like that of the lots that he sells. And he owns partial, like I think less than 50% in the McDonald's, and then somehow owning the land and whatever the fuck like that, and owning a lot of the franchisee owners as well, quite literally got him to where he basically took over the company from the other guys. So basically he stole McDonald's.
First restaurants to use this mall strategy in the 1960s, and then by the 1980s, when it became more competitive, they were large enough to effectively expand using freestanding locations, which quickly became the majority of them. My next reason is something that you may be expecting to hear: friendly employees and customer service. If you know of a restaurant with a friendlier environment than Chick-fil-A, I'd like to hear it, because it's almost unnatural how friendly they are there. You may have noticed this, but they're instructed to not say "you're welcome," but instead to say "my pleasure." That phrase and the overall positive attitude.
Dude, there's so many memes on how nice Chick-fil-A workers are. Like, there's memes like you will literally call Chick-fil-A, say they messed up your order, they'll drive with the whole menu to your house with every single sauce, everything they own. They give you the whole store if they mess up your order type. Some bullshit. And that's true, because I work at a KFC, and like what we do, we like greet customers nicely and stuff like that. And then when they leave, we say, "Have a good night," stuff like that. You know, simple stuff. Bro, our manager, my manager, literally on the drive-through window, like has the headset on to talk to the person when they're ordering outside. Like, "I'm here, how may I help you?" Like, "Order when you're ready." Like, they'll say something like, "We don't have that here. We haven't had that in 3 years." Like, like, "Oh, I'm sorry about that, sir. We actually don't have that anymore." No, it's straight up like, "We don't have that. We don't have that. I'm sorry. We haven't had that in 3 years." Oh, you want? So people will literally call our store. "Y'all got the buffet?" No, we don't got the buffet. But you know how fucking gets handled? Literally, we'd be like, "No, we won't have it ever again." Say, "Sorry, we are currently no longer able to have the buffet due to COVID and restrictions." Like, you go to an Asian or Chinese buffet now, you get styrofoam stuff, right? It's expensive. You have to buy styrofoam plates, plastic forks, all this stuff. You can't go and wash plates, cups, forks, knives, spoons anymore. You can't. Due to COVID restrictions, you have to, like, for a buffet, you have to use plastic cutlery. You have to use paper plates, paper bowls, whatever. Paper cups, styrofoam cups, plastic cups, whatever.
emphasized by Truett Cathy himself to a point where it's become part of their identity. It's pretty simple. Customers want to be in that environment, so they keep coming back, leading to high sales and packed restaurants. Those employees are able to stay so chipper partially because they seem to be happy to work there. They get unusual benefits like scholarship opportunities, and compared to the rest of the industry, they keep their jobs much longer. It's historically been about a 50 to 60% turnover rate for the hourly employees, compared to an industry average of well over 100. But another potentially overlooked factor here would be the close and qualified management, ensuring that they maintain that friendliness. It's leading me to my next reason. Chick-fil-A is outrageously selective when choosing who runs these restaurants. Again, if you watch this channel, you're probably nodding in relief. Too many times have we seen that when a restaurant gets too obsessed with opening new franchises, it becomes dangerous because they start accepting anybody just to fill those spots, and the quality of the franchisees.
Dude, yeah, what happened to fucking Quiznos for a second? Like, you would see Quiznos commercials all the time. Bro, you don't see Quiznos commercials at all, bro. They looked good. They look so good, but you don't see shit. Do they even exist? Probably not. Same with Red Robins. Like, you get a commercial here and there, but they fell off. Same with Chili's. Chili's, same thing. They fell off. They did something wrong. I don't know. They gotta... You can keep the same food, but, like, if the food ain't that good, people aren't gonna come back. You know. Just saying.
Ends up getting lower and lower. Because Chick-fil-A has spent over 50 years on this slow and steady approach, they've always been able to be pickier, and in fact, they do the whole thing differently. Here, if you want to open a franchise of pretty much any of these fast food restaurants, you basically have to be rich. To even be considered, you have to be willing to pay tens of thousands of dollars and have an overall net worth of hundreds of thousands of dollars. For example, for McDonald's, it's an initial fee of $45,000 and a net worth of $500,000. Statistically, most people cannot afford that, but for Chick-fil-A, they don't even care about your net worth, and they only charge $10,000.
What I was saying. I told you, $10,000 franchisee fee. They don't care about your net worth. You go to KFC, you ain't even worth $25K. Get out of here. You can go online and build, and literally you can go work for like a year straight, save as much money as possible while you're paying bills. Like, let's say rent $500, right? $500 a month. Let's say you make $2,000 a month, right? You make $2,000 a month. Let's say you only gotta pay two bills: your rent, electricity. Let's just say those are your only bills. Rent $500, right? Electricity also $500. Just simple bill. No, they're not accurate, but all right. So that means $1,000 a month you have to pay. The other $1,000, bank, savings account, put it in there. All right. $1,000 into savings a month, or you can even do $500 every paycheck into the bank. If you're able to do that. That means 10 months, not even a whole year, right? You can quite literally own a fucking franchisee partner ownership with Chick-fil-A. Obviously, you need, they're gonna do background checks. If you in the past for drugs, gun charges, violence, harassment, any sort of that illegal, stupid stuff, maybe even speeding. I don't know. Probably not speeding, but like that stuff. Oh, goodbye. You like me? Don't do anything wrong. Sit inside your house, work. Sit inside your house, games, work, stream, music, basketball, chill. Nothing wrong, $10,000. Motherfucker, you can pay $10,000. Hold up. Actually, this is what we're gonna do real quick. How much do you make for owning a Chick-fil-A. $10,000, right? Put in $10,000. You will make $200,000 a year for working 68 hours a week. But here's the thing. You won't necessarily... You could honestly not have to work the full 60, 80 hours. You can have more managers. You can be the GM, you know, work quite a bit, make your money, make your salary, have other managers, you know, for some days, some off days. Let's say can't work Fridays and Saturdays. Other manager. Get your own employees, you know. Get it right. Bro, $10,000. That is the easiest money ever heard. Save $10,000, get $200,000 a year. Let's say you still live in your one place with your electricity, $500, $1,000 a month. Let's do some math. Calculator. Let's do some math real quick. I don't want to do it in my head. I'm too stupid for that. Alright. So let's do 1,000. Alright. 1,000 times 12. That is 1,200. Not 1,200. I don't know why I said 1,200 like that. That's 12,000. $12,000. Right? So that's $12,000. That's not why I pulled up the calculator. It's for the other shit. So 12,000. All right. So let's say take in. All right. You got 200,000 minus 1,200. You got $188,000 you can put in the bank. $188,000 of all spending cash a year. A year. At the end of every year, you get $188,000 to spend. Let's say you don't spend all of that. You spend a quarter of that. So, 188,000 divided by what would be a quarter? Divided by 4, right? I don't fucking remember how to do that. Just divided by 2. Alright. So half 188,000, 94,000. And then we'll just do this because I don't want to use big brain anymore. Okay, we divide that by half. 47,000. You've spent 47,000, right? 47,000. You have $141,000 that you save. You have 141 grand you save a year. Your second year will still save money. 282,000. You can buy a house. Your second year. Proving my point. Proving my point why saving money counts and saving money matters, and why you gotta look at it differently.
Those smaller financial barriers give them a large pool of people trying to do it. They say it's something like 60,000 applications every year, but obviously they don't open 60,000 locations a year. In the end, they end up accepting fewer than 100 of them. That is an acceptance rate of below 0.17%, one of the lowest that you'll ever see for any application. They weed out thousands of people with interviews and essays, and by the end of it, they end up with some pretty good people. And they want them to be really hands-on and present in the day-to-day activities as well.
That's why it's 60, 80 hours a week. You can put in that time. You make more money than the average person. Motherfucker, you got the crack kid down the street, Shaquise, over here acting up about how much money you making. Motherfucker, the homeless kid down the street over here like, damn. You make so much money. You can buy fucking 10 Kit Kat bars a day for fucking every kid on the fucking block. Just saying.
You know, so they can ensure that the restaurant is clean and the employees are friendly to the customers. The company tries to ensure this by rejecting anyone who appears to be looking for what they would consider a passive investment, but also by not allowing them to manage more than 1 or 2 locations. And I use that word manage instead of own, because unlike most franchisees, they don't have any actual ownership in those locations. Chick-fil-A pays for them and retains ownership, which is why they're required to have a lower financial investment. It's a different system with
Okay, that's what I was wondering. I didn't know if you own the store or not, okay? That's what I didn't know 100%.
Pros and cons on both ends, but it's proven to lead to more passionate and involved managers, which in turn seems to lead to better maintained restaurants. When looking at my list, these 2 reasons stand out. They are related to each other and make me believe that Chick-fil-A has built a sturdy, well-maintained company. Before I end the video, this has to be mentioned, and I'm pretty sure many of you know what I'm about to say. Chick-fil-A is obviously an extremely religious organization, and it has received a fair amount of backlash over their feelings toward the gay community. The controversies are centered around comments made opposing gay marriage in 2012 by Dan Cathy, who is the son of Truett Cathy and the company's current CEO, in addition to the fact that their charitable organization has donated heavily to charities that hold anti-LGBTQ stances, mainly the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and the Salvation Army. Likely due to this backlash, they have since refrained from speaking out against gay marriage, and it appears that they have stopped donating to those specific charities. It is an extremely touchy subject, those are just the basic facts of it, so I encourage everyone to look further into it and form your own opinions. But
People are too sensitive. Just because they give their money to charities that have that lead anti-gay like things, anything, does not mean they're anti it. Oh my goodness. That is like me being with a friend. Yo, what's up, bro? I didn't even see this man was in the chat. But that is like low-key me being with a friend, right? My friend goes up to some other person, don't know him at all, starts beating him up. That is like me when I stop him from doing that shit. Me hating my friend. That doesn't mean I hate my friend. It just means I'm doing the right thing. Come on, man. Y'all weird. Y'all weird as hell. Talking about some stupid shit. Don't even do that to me. Don't even do that to me. Don't even. Nah, it's just funny. Love arguing about shit. Dude, Buffalo Wild Wings is so good, bro. You don't understand. This shit is straight fire, bro. Like, literally. You go to Buffalo Wild Wings. Well, it depends what you get. Wings, the actual wings, amazing. You can go to Domino's, you can go to Pizza, it doesn't matter.
Buffalo Wild Wings. How could you not like that logo? It is literally a buffalo with wings. I know, it's an obvious joke, but it works. Of course, buffaloes don't have wings. The food is thought to have been originated at this restaurant called Anchor Bar in Buffalo, New York. The actual stories vary, but the name comes from the town, not the animal. And today, more than 50 years later,
every location will make them as good as the other. But that's the problem. That's the problem with places, you know. Let's say I own a store, right? I own a store. We make chicken sandwiches. The other store, they also make chicken sandwiches. But that store, halfway across the country, I can't like walk across the street and tell them this is what they gotta do. My chicken sandwiches have mayo and pickle, Over there, not many people like the mayo and pickle on the chicken sandwiches as much, so they take it off. Instead, they put butter on the bread and lettuce on the bottom of the bun. Not every store will follow the rules, you know? Free up some storage, ass cheeks. What you talking about? Alright. I'm hiding the screen. Gonna have to uninstall some. I have so much shit on here. Like, so much random shit that doesn't need to be on here. So I needed to uninstall shit anyways. There's only a terabyte on here. It's literally like booty cheeks. Should I just like sort by like the most size? Yeah, sort by size. That sounds sus, but I don't care. What do we not need? Okay, Dead by Daylight, don't like that. Out of here. Get your shit in, boy. Alright. Halo Infinite. Not that good. You ain't that good, Chief. Get your ass out of here, too. Sadly, Halo Infinite wasn't that good. Which sucks, because, bro, my God, what I want to... It doesn't run good on my PC. I run it at 1080p. 1920, 1080p, all low graphics, lowest graphics, right? It runs, but I can't put it full screen. There is no way to put it full screen. If I even click the box in the top right corner to maybe even upscale 1080, it won't. Automatically goes back to 2560 by 1080. Like, bro, I don't want that. Like, get out of here with that shit. Is there any games sneaking around that like actually low key have like a ton of storage, but it just won't say? I know a lot of games be doing that. Fucking sneaky ass. With your sneaky shit. Rainbow don't even tell me the storage. 0 hour. Get your ass out of here. I bought that game and I don't like it. Now I'm mad. The game low key trash. I'm hiding my screen, right? Alright, cool. Don't want to be leaking my shit. Dude, I think I've already leaked my info somehow on accident. Quality of life update. Shit probably ass. Alright, fuck out of here, Steam. Fuck out of here. Alright. Come on, man. Pause. Unpause. You gonna unpause. Yeah. You're resuming. You better resume the fuck out of that update. Alright. Let's unhide my screen. Sorry, y'all. Feel bad, man. Say yo and I didn't fucking see it. Chat was covering. The YouTube was covering the chat. I do that so much too. Patching files. Come on, man. I can go cook up a whole baby. I mean, no, I didn't say that. Shh. You hear that? What time is it? 9:41. And then now I gotta call my work and call in sick. Cause I'm sick. I can't go to work while coughing on some dick. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I did not say that. You did not hear that from my mouth. You did not hear that from my mouth. Oh shit, bro. Bro, I'm literally just trying to play Apex, yo. Come on, man. Do I really gotta close out of this and change the fucking title and play Rainbow instead? Because I really don't wanna. Fuck, man. Shit. Alright, y'all. We're playing Rainbow instead. Lucky fucks. Motherfuckers pieces of shit. Pieces of shit. Caught your ass smoking on the homeboy's dick. I didn't say that either. Don't even question it. Don't even question it. I like find out who this dude is. I have no idea. Never seen this man in my life before. Maybe he slid in before, maybe not. I never know. Put user in timeout. Fuck am I gonna naughty? The hell? I just wanna. Everybody else playing the new fucking Halo Infinite. Goddamn bullshit. But I can't play. Jesus Christ. Bro, I can draw your mama here. Just an asshole for no reason too. I can put my balls in your jaw. Balls in your jaw. Cause I wanna put my balls in your jaw. Balls in your jaw. Cause I wanna put my balls in your jaw. Balls in your... I don't even know what I'm doing tonight. There's probably an update to this too, motherfucker. Only time I'll be able to play is with your mom. Fuck you talking about? Do I have a set of Corsa? Fuck no. I have Portal. But do I want to play Portal? That's the question. Do I want to play Portal? Do I want to play Portal? Do I want to play Portal? Do I want to play? Do I want to play with your mom? Alright. Damn, screen was like boop boop boop. Alright, drop frame 0. Yeah, you better not drop any frames, bitch. I've been live for almost an hour. 0 gameplay. I've been reacting to shit for an hour? Damn. I'm boring as hell. I'm sorry, y'all. Nobody even watching but shit. I still feel bad. Bro. Can I play a game? Can I play? Please? Please? Put in timeout. Nobody won't even let me. Participants. Oh hell yeah, I want the fucking... Fuck. 854. Damn, bro. He literally commented way ago and I missed that shit. God damn it. Oh my god, bro. What the fuck? No, I'm not touching my balls. Calm down. You got this big old thing for no reason over here doing this thing. Looking for patches. Only thing I'm about to patch is your mom's holes with my dick. I didn't say that. Y'all didn't hear that. Oh my goodness. It's loading Ubisoft Connect. But it won't load Rainbow Six Siege. What? What? I don't want to like accidentally leak something like a fucking product key. Fucking leaks my whole fucking life. Starts ultra vibing for no fucking reason. Tough. We like cheese. You know how disappointing it is that my fucking my Apex Legends don't wanna update. Kind of bullshit. Ski. Oh my goodness, guys! Rainbow Six Siege. It. No, bro. Fuck is you talking about? My bad, Chief. I'm only slightly stupid. Motherfucker, crypto. Hey, you got them crypto coins. You got those coins for your crypto. Yeah. Jesus Christ. I'm about to start taking all my keycaps. That's why you smell like cheese. Oh, the fuck is this? Now, what the fuck is that? Oh, the game's running. Bro, it took fucking 20 years to... That's gay. No, that's gay. Kane's is so fucking good. Cutting against the grain. The fuck you cutting against the grain for, bitch? Just fucking turn it and cut it. It literally has the grooves in the stick. Y'all weird. The stuff that I see people do all the fucking time, bro, so stupid. No, I clicked booster because I don't want to see the boosters. Activate security. Fuck out of here. The reason I'm activating is me fucking alone. I'm saying that too much for no reason. God damn. That's loading slower than my fucking nut smacking your chin. I might have to low-key stop stream. If I keep doing that. Can you play no game right there? 6 more days for Battle Pass. That's crazy. What the fuck happened? Oh no, it crashed. No fucking shit. Send the fuck out of that crash report. I'm literally gonna have to stop the stream and then just wait like an hour and then start up stream again. That sucks. Alright. Alright, chat. Alright, y'all. I'll be right back. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna say it like that. I'll be back on here in like an hour or two. Loki probably gonna wait for my food, cook that, then eat that, and then probably start it back up again. Or maybe just cook the food and then just go on stream and eat, watch like another video or two, and then start up Apex, something like that.